My mother hid a diagnosis I got in 1991 to keep me sick. I am 37 now and disabled, and I just found out she knew the whole time. Had I had proper help, I could have had a normal life. All my life I was a sick kid, kept inside and missed out on so much. Everyone thought my mom was making me sick for attention, but turns out she was keeping me sick for attention. I was always covered in hives, often kept out of school for long stretches of time, even when I felt fine. My parents would never take me to the doctor when I needed it a kid. Every little cold I had turned into pneumonia. Like, I never just got over a small cold easily. Yet there was magically an endless supply of pain pills and Ritalin. So she went to the doctors for herself. I'm pretty sure she was sleeping with the doctors to get oxy, but I digress. My grandmother would try to get me help, as would my older sister, but my parents often won. I also had untreated scoliosis that's progressing. I was supposed to have corrective surgery as a kid, but she opted out. That being said, I had a lot of back pain as a kid, but I was just fed pain pills and codeine syrup and told to tough it out. I am totally sober now, but as a teen into my early 20s, I was hooked on pills thanks to her. My husband and I have been searching for a diagnosis for well over a decade. I've been gaslit by so many doctors and told I was fine. Told to just drop some pounds and I'd feel better. My husband and my friends suspected it was something autoimmune like lupus. Lately, I've become allergic to the sun ever since August of 2023. I had this issue as a toddler and randomly in middle school as well. Seems to come and go. But I'm trying to keep track of all the things that make me flare. But I have answers. I just got them in a really messed up way. I reckon my mom is close to death and I guess is feeling remorse because she just told me I was diagnosed with mast cell instability in 1991 when I was a child at Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore. I am 37 years old now. She knew this whole time. I now have a slew of health issues, a crumbling spine, crippling migraines, vision issues, urinary issues, reproductive issues, and so much more. I am an artist who can barely create art anymore because of the arthritic pain in my hands. Doctors say I have the spine of an 80-year-old. Perhaps if I had proper treatment or even knew about this, I would have been able to be proactive and have a normal life. It would also have been cool to have doctors listen to me, so I could have found this out earlier, but maybe that is me trying to make excuses for not blaming my mom. I can't have kids. I can't have a career. I can barely walk some days. I just don't know how to digest this. Granted, my mom is a pill addict in poor health, and I guess this was a moment of clarity for her, but why now? Why watch me spend thousands and years on doctors when she knew all along? Did she genuinely forget? It seems kinda messed up to forget your toddler being diagnosed with a rare disease at a famous hospital. My dermatologist, who is helping me with my sun allergy, said it makes perfect sense. But where do I go from here? All these years, was I just supposed to take a ton of antihistamines? Just a few pills, vitamins, steroids, and maybe some shots, and I could have had a normal life? I don't quite know the treatments for mast cell, as I just learned of its existence too. I am so angry, and I feel so stupid. I am so hurt, yet I still feel guilty for feeling mad at her because she's bedridden and probably going to pass soon. All these health issues I had I thought were separate, but they're all from mast cell. My therapist years ago said I was a victim of Munchausen by proxy through medical neglect, and I didn't want to believe her, but I surely do now. She took my life from me. Granted, she has a slew of untreated mental health issues and had a life of trauma, but instead of getting help, she did this to me. I guess I really am the product of generational trauma. Her reasoning for not taking me to the doctors as a kid was, I was a very hyperactive and hard-to-deal-with child, and running to and from doctors' offices was too much. She also said that it wasn't a big deal because sometimes the symptoms and hives will go away. But that's the disease. It comes and goes. It has flares. She also says, how dare I put this guilt on her now? I'm just so hurt and confused. Even as an adult, it still hurts to know that your parents don't care about you. My sister says I should go no contact with my parents because of this recent discovery, but I don't know how, and I feel guilty because she's probably going to pass soon. I still feel this guilty duty towards her. She pulls me in somehow. My sister said she's a true narcissist. My brother-in-law says I should sue, but my parents already have such a horrible life now, it wouldn't matter, and it would just cost me time and money. I don't understand why anyone would willingly have kids to just not care about them. I also reached out to an old family friend that worked at Johns Hopkins in the 80s and 90s, and she confirmed it's true, but she says I should try to find some old medical records. I don't even know how to start that. Part of me feels stupid for sitting here feeling sorry for myself, but I don't know how to feel right now. Anyways, thanks for reading.